What a night of Champions League football. Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1, an annihilation at the Emirates Stadium tonight. Tottenham just beaten 5-3 by Paris Saint-Germain after leading twice in that game. But what about Anfield? Not one, not two, not three, but four. 4 goals conceded by Arne Slot's Liverpool. Surely it's come to the end of the road. It has to be. Boys to men, actually, men to boys in Liverpool's case. He has to go. He must go at this stage. So much to talk about tonight. We have the panel coming later. I can't wait to read your comments and go through everything you guys have got to say as well. The best community out there. But please like, share, subscribe, and hit that hype button as well. But my word, what a night. What a night of champions. I don't even know any of the other results. I'm not going to lie to you. I was so engrossed in the English clubs tonight and what was going on. So many different stories. Absolutely crazy. This here says, I admire Neuer a lot, but that was satisfying seeing this man sweat as we unleash set pieces after set piece. A statement win by Arsenal. We were way too passive in the first half, but the second half was a managerial masterclass. Teta's subs made the difference. Hard for W. Luke Skywalker here says, come on, you gooners. Sunday will be extremely uncomfortable for Sanchez, not capable of saving the scoreline like Neuer tonight. And Neuer pulled off some brilliant saves as well. Chelsea fans, be happy with the win, but know as much as there's pressure on us to break you down, there's also pressure on you to break us down as well. This here says, I'm pissed as an Arsenal fan. This is the same Liverpool that beat us to a title. We are coming. I'm pissed as an Arsenal fan. This is the same Liverpool that beat us to the title. We are coming. Thank you, Tony, here, 30 months as a member. Yo, Chelsea fans, let me see your chest now. Come on, you gooners. Spurs give up back-to-back hat tricks. They suck. And that second half Rice performance, F me, what a beast. And look, keep those comments coming in, please, people. See you guys all chatting backstage. Well, we'll be bringing out the panel later, you know, and obviously we're talking to Liverpool fans tonight, Arsenal fans tonight, and everything else in between. Actually, I can see the other results on my screen. I don't know what the results were. I can see them there. Like the Real Madrid 4-3 winners, like the PSV 4-1. I'm actually in shock. In total shock. Ice-T here says, Slot is a clown. Listen, I think Slot's got to go at this point. I really do. But you can't get... He didn't make Van Dijk handball it. He didn't make Konate do the chicken dance. He really... He didn't. The players have got to be... You might fix it by bringing in a new manager, but I wouldn't be letting these players off the hook. Harder to score in a brothel than at Anfield. This here says, didn't even leave second gear, but Bayern also didn't show real intensity. Still superior. But Liverpool, though, are in deep mud. The leopard is dead. Long live the leopard. By the way, people, what we're sitting on right now, we're not even on 1,000 likes yet. 6,000 people watching. Let's get that like button hit right about now. Let me just put some timestamps in that I've got to put in here, please, my people. Let me just do this because I've got such a busy night tonight. I've got to go to Manchester first thing in the morning as well. So busy man indeed. But I'm gonna personally start with Arsenal tonight. That was sensational on every single level. It was an annihilation. It was an annihilation. A passive first half, an aggressive, expansive, wonderful second. But I'll tell you why the first half, in many respects, is every bit as important as the second. Bayern Munich came out and they did play with intensity. They were pressing. They were moving the ball quickly. They had, and I took a note down here, 82% of the ball in the opening 12 minutes. When Arsenal took the lead at 1-0, they'd had 77% of the ball. Arsenal pass completion was only at 67% at that time. But what I noticed is they weren't doing anything with the ball. They weren't creating chances. It was actually Arsenal that was still the more dangerous side, which I thought was really interesting. Arsenal couldn't get on the ball. They were finding it hard to pass the ball through Bayern Munich, but they were able to go direct. Then, of course, Arsenal score from the corner. And I love it when they score from set pieces just because it boils people's piss and I enjoy watching it online. But it was a wonderful cross from Bukayo Saka. More GA in the Champions League for him. And Urian Timber, for me, one of the best right backs in the world, puts it away. Still strong from their set pieces without Gabriel. Then Arsenal, again, I just thought carried on dominating. And there was almost a second goal. And Eze, and I'm going to speak about the players a little bit later, but Eze today was just fantastic. And there was a touch where he brought the ball out the sky when Arsenal was still playing direct. And he passes it into Marino. Marino then plays it back inside to him. I thought he undercooked it a little bit, Marino. I still think that Eze should be letting the ball run across himself, get onto the left foot and shoot. Tries to pass it to Saka. Really should have been 2-0. And then Bayern Munich tried something. And it caught Arsenal sleeping. So first and foremost, what I thought was important for Arsenal is going through that period of being under pressure with another team having the ball, but Arsenal looking cool, calm, collected. Bayern Munich, the highest goal-scoring team in Europe this year, the best attacking team in Europe this year, couldn't penetrate. Could not penetrate. That was the pill. That was the coil. That was a condom, a femidon, a chastity belt, and no sex, virgin levels. They could not penetrate whatsoever. And then they caught Arsenal sleeping. There was a fantastic ball over the top. And I'm not sure who played it. I don't remember who played it, to be honest with you. I want to say it was Kimmich. I could be wrong. You'll correct me. There was a great run. I thought it was Elise to begin with. It wasn't. It was Gnabry. He timed his run perfectly. And I thought Miles Lewis-Skelly was asleep. But he timed it perfectly. The cross in to young Leonard Carl, who, by the way, what a young player. What a great player that young man looks like he'll be. It was the perfect goal. Inch-perfect passes, runs, finishes. 1-1. 30 seconds later, same ball again. They're in. And they maybe should have gone 2-1 up. But then this Arsenal team got through the adversity, made sure they were alert to that, saw themselves through the rest of the first half. And you're thinking, okay, what's going to happen here? We know how good Bayern Munich are. Many's favourite to win the Champions League. What's this Arsenal team made of? And they came out in the second half. And I'm going to go into the players before I talk about the team and Arteta. Declan Rice. I don't care if you don't personally like him. I don't listen to Luciano Pavarotti, but he's world class. Declan Rice is a world class football player. That second half performance, his interceptions, his anticipations, his defending, his box-to-box actions. He nearly scores a worldie of a goal by breaking through, powering through that defense. Great save by Neuer. I don't know how it wasn't tapped in at the back post by Saka. Majestic. Eze I've already spoken about a little bit tonight, but he was just a thorn in their side. And as Arsenal in the second half were more aggressive, they held onto the ball and they looked to be the more assertive team. And I think they felt they were actually quite comfortable with Bayern Munich. All they had to do was watch out for long balls over the top. And there was only one, I think they were 2-1 up, where the ball knocked out long to Elise, and Elise took on Lewis-Skelly, who I don't think had a good game tonight. A young Carl did it to him as well. It's the only thing they had to look out for. But Arsenal grew in confidence. Eze shining. Rice, I've mentioned, absolutely fantastic on every level. Bukayo Saka tonight. Just another performance from Bukayo Saka that stands him up as one of the very best wingers in the world. He just is. And he was dangerous. He was breaking ankles. He was creating chances. His crosses from set pieces. How Arsenal, and namely Marino, didn't score at least two. Some from set pieces, and there was a cross from open play as well. Should be burying him. Should have been Bosch in the back of the net. He's very good with his head. And then you're starting to think, are Arsenal going to rue these missed chances? But they're playing really well. And then the manager. Then Mikel Arteta steps up. And he makes two changes. Calafiori comes in for Lewis-Skelly, who is probably the only smudge on the paper tonight for Arsenal, is he didn't have a good game. But no real Arsenal fan's going to care about that. They're just going to celebrate and move on. They know he'll come good. He comes off. And then Saka was taken off. And the commentators were saying, oh, that's a little bit strange. I looked at it and thought, it isn't. The man is still, I know it's nearly December, but he's had a massive hamstring injury and a small hamstring injury in the last 6 months. It's still important to give him the rest time. And the depth is there. And Noni Madueke comes in. Noni Madueke already come on. Noni Madueke came on. Why am I now getting confused with the order of these substitutions here? My brain ain't working. Let me just go and check. No, Noni came on earlier in the game. I'm being stupid for Trossard, who went off injured, right? It was Martinelli that came on. That's what it was. I knew I was getting it wrong. I couldn't quite remember where it was. And within minutes, I mean, the intensity remained. The subs fitted in perfectly, and it was Declan Rice again. Anticipates where the ball's going to be played by Bayern Munich. He did it all night. Wins the ball, plays it into Eze, who was at this point had drifted out to the left. Calafiori makes the run, runs into the vacated space, and a brilliant cross. And I was really happy for the young man, Noni Madueke. First goal for the club in one of the best Champions League nights Arsenal have had in their lifetimes. It set a standard, it set a marker, it sent a big message. But Noni actually, until his injury, was playing very, very well. But of course, everybody just goes straight to the, well, where's the GA? It was going to come and the injury happened. Very happy for him. The substitutions, though, Mikel Arteta, take a bow. The right individuals coming on to maintain the intensity, to give him something a little bit extra. Saka might have been thinking I'd have been there for that tap in as well. But maybe he wouldn't have been. I don't know. It was brilliant substitutions from him. The third goal then comes because Bayern Munich are now pushing. Eze gets the ball. A lovely knock over the top. The substitution again. Moreno probably doesn't get there. He doesn't have the speed that Martinelli does. I don't know what Manuel Neuer is doing. I'm going to give him a pass, though, because he's a legend. He rounds him. He taps it. 4 goals now in the Champions League for Gabriel Martinelli. And I think he has thrived. Now there's more competition at the club. As they say, pressure can either burst a pipe or it can create diamonds. And Berta's summer transfers, the depth in squad is turning a lot of Arsenal's players that you maybe think were duds or turning into duds or needed to be sold. It's turning them into diamonds. He buries it. Ends up being an emphatic win. Yes, the game of two halves, you saw 2 different Arsenals. But barring one perfectly executed move from Bayern Munich and a couple of times where Lewis Skelly got taken on, Arsenal were almost impossible to beat again. And I know that Bayern Munich had players missing. But the reason why I'm going to focus on Arsenal for a moment is a couple of seasons ago, if they lost one centre-back, it was trouble. Gabriel out. It's been no problem for the last 2 games, which is why, yes, they're going to lose matches still this season, Arsenal. It's going to happen. But I think their confidence is going to be sky high. Wow, we can do this without our best centre-back. Odegaard just came back today, but didn't start the match. No Kai Havertz, no Gyökeres. These guys still to come back to this team. And I just think it shows you the growth in this Arsenal side. Arsenal are now different. Arsenal feel like they are built different this season. And dare I say it, Arsenal are scary. I know a lot of people are going to steal my bar tonight. Probably half of YouTube. probably half the fan cams on AFTV. Probably the mainstream media. But Arsenal are scary. I saw this coming back in 2022. I don't know if I ever thought it would get to this level. Now, all they've got to do is maintain this to the end of the season, win a couple of major trophies, and you're looking at one of the greatest rises in the history of the English game. You certainly are. But that's a talk for another day. Tonight, in terms of the Champions League game, a message was sent, a marker was made, and for me, so far this season, Arsenal have been the best team in Europe. And tonight they proved it. Maintaining it for the rest of the campaign, that's another conversation. But just assessing what we've seen, absolutely fantastic. Now it's onwards and upwards to that Chelsea game. As a neutral to the match, I can't wait. I wanted both Chelsea and Arsenal to win because it builds the game up on a different level. I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your opinions in that comment section below, please, people. But what a night to Arsenal. And the biggest guy, the man of the match tonight, Mikel Arteta. What a masterclass from that man. Lots of people to bring on who are sitting backstage with us. We'll be bringing on soon, guys. I'm going to do the some super chats here first. This here says, what one? Whoa, hang on. There's so many that have come through. I need to make sure I go back to the right ones. Here we go. I bet Arteta is regretting playing with the handbrake on at Anfield earlier on this season. Maybe or maybe not. Listen, Liverpool have got progressively worse over the course of this campaign. So I think it's a little disingenuous to do that. They have got worse and Arsenal have got better. But that's how a lot of seasons are. I don't think Arteta will be thinking about that at all. He's between 6 to 7 points clear at the top of the Champions League group. I don't think he'll be sitting in there tonight going, oh God, if only we were a little bit more aggressive against Liverpool. I don't think he'll care. Should have scored more. We fear no one. Europe should fear us. We overrun Bayern Munich in midfield in the second half, to be honest. You did. And I think for me, that was one of the biggest messages that was sent out there tonight. This Arsenal team is serious. You don't have to think they're a great team yet. You might want to reserve judgment until they start winning major trophies, and that's fair. But you can't be talking about them not being a very good team. Tony says, it's crazy how United are in turmoil, but the pundits are silent on Liverpool. How did they mess up that winning title side? Did they get super complacent because they won the title last year? Bro, listen, I think it's a lot of things. I think it's a lot of things with Liverpool. I don't think it's just one. I don't think it's just one particular issue they have. I think it's an absolute amalgamation, a completely Slot's made too many changes. The recruitment hasn't been good enough. I think there is some complacency. There's probably definitely some issues when it comes to the Jota situation. I think they all play a part. I think maybe a player or two's legs have gone. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a combination. Phil Foden, instrumental in that third goal. Harry Kane, welcome to the Saliba Penitentiary. He's been flawless all season, but nobody talks about him because this is his standard. Also, Rice, man of the match. I will, by the way, I totally forgot. And that just shows the brilliance of Arsenal tonight. Harry Kane didn't do anything. Actually, the only time I heard his name mentioned is when he cleared a cross from his own box. Watching Arsenal 20 plus never been so calm. They have a great team. Come on, you Gooners. Bayern tactically beaten. Credit to Arteta. Calafiori shows why he starts in the Premier League. Mosquera, the best value signing of the season. Timber, best right back in the world. Thanks for Noni, Chelsea. Hit the like button. Thank you for, by the way, about 10,000 people watching. Get the like button hit, please. Really, really important to us that you do that for the platform. What an amazing statement victory for us. Bayern were good. We were far better. Also, I'm starting a petition to keep Slot and Liverpool forever. We made Bayern look average in the second half. Amazing. You certainly did. You did make them look very, very average indeed. Rice, again, unmatched. Hush that Caicedo comparison. Annihilation is too strong, Terry. You literally had the stats. If you talk about the Liverpool game, yes, but not the Arsenal game. I'm sorry, Josh. I don't care about the statistics in the Arsenal game. I really hang on. They did. Listen, Arsenal maybe should have had more shots on goal in the game. You could argue that, but Bayern Munich didn't create a single big chance in the entire game. They had the majority of the ball, but only had 5 shots in the whole match. Arsenal scored 3 goals, created 6 big chances against them. That for me, and that's against a team that's considered the best in Europe and the favourites. We'll get on to what happened to Liverpool in a minute, my friend, but I'm going to credit Arsenal. They deserve it. Chelsea fans really think they're going to perform better than Bayern and take this title. There's still time for you to check your heads, our little lions. So pleased for Noni and little Gabby coming back from injury layoff and coming up clutch with goals to get ahead, then clinch it for us. Yeah, brilliant night for them. Absolutely fantastic night for them on every level, mate. Who's next for the Saka test? Elise, Kudus, Foden, Palmer. Who is next? Well, do you know what's interesting? I think Elise is an excellent player. And again, tonight, me and Don had a debate a few weeks ago, and we watched. And I won't ever I won't ever decide who I think's best based on one head-to-head game. I'll never do that. But in terms of the head-to-head challenge, they played against each other tonight. Well, only one man come out on top, and it wasn't Elise. Time to accept Liverpool need a rebuild and new manager. I don't think they need a rebuild. They've got a brilliant squad of players. We learned the answer to Elise versus Saka today. I wonder what the media agenda will be tomorrow. Yeah, probably be the fireworks were too loud, or the club played for the fireworks and the fans didn't. Has anyone found Kane yet? There's missing posters outside. I remember us beating PSG hard in the group stage last year and then losing to them in the semis. some part of me wanted Arsenal to lose softly because we'll likely meet Bayern again. Yeah, look, I understand that. And maybe Bayern go to another level. The difference is with the PSG team is they were awful at the beginning of the season across the park, and they just got better and better and better as the season went on. And that could happen again. Bayern could go to another level. You could go to another level. But it's definitely a statement of intent been made tonight. This is a statement of intent. Europe are watching. Revenge finally. We beat the best and we're top of the pile. Come on, you Gunners. Long may it continue. Let's win a big one, baby. As well, you want to stay around the top two. Remember, you'll get all the second legs at your ground, which I always think is an advantage. We only scored one set-piece goal. Unacceptable. Yeah, that's also it as well. Another 2 open play goals. No one's talking about that weird fucking stat anymore. This is going to give Arteta a super headache. It is, but it's the kind of headache you want. It's the kind of headache you need, my friend. Wasn't sure Calafiori should go in over Miles Lewis-Skelly straight away at first, but Arteta's done me there. Serious question, though. Who is better than Timber? The only right back, again, I'm only going to speak premise, the league I watch regularly. The only person I think that can really chat to him is Reece James. They're the only two in the conversation. Everyone else is below him. Never thought the time would come when we are not happy because we conceded. 1 to 10, which performance was better, Arsenal or Chelsea? I would slightly give it to Arsenal because I think they played the better team. That being said, you can make an argument for Chelsea because a lot of people wrote them off and they don't think they were as good as Arsenal. So maybe there's a smaller gap. But I thought both teams were fantastic and both made a marker in Europe. Is it cringe to have fireworks? Please check with O'Hara. To go and sign £50 million player in January. That's what we need to do. Keep putting pressure on the teams on and off the field is what George Guna says here. This club is rotten to the core and needs to be overhauled. Players and manager space jammed. Worse than Hodgson era. I fear West Ham away. You should fear West Ham away. I think I said at the weekend, I think West Ham are going to beat you. And I stand on that, Jimmy. I stand on that, Daniel. Jimmy here says, from the 2000 teams playing physical football to the soft technical Pep copycat era and all the way back to physicality again, Arsenal a physical step ahead. You're very, very right. You're very, very right. Which is why a lot of clubs were stupid to try and do the copycat approach. There's a lot of teams that were good physical teams 5 years ago that went away from it. Wonder where they'd be now if they stuck to their guns. A great win by Arsenal. So proud of the boys. Statement win. Come on, you Gooners. Nice subs by for Arteta. Chelsea fans were cocky for beating Barca. We'll meet them on Sunday. Listen, I'm going to say this as well, though. Chelsea fans should have an air of confidence about them. Chelsea fans should be up for this game because I will say this: Chelsea can beat you. 100% Chelsea can win on Sunday. Don't get it twisted. So can Arsenal. That's why I think it's such an amazing spectacle. And you both winning in the week gives you confidence going into that game. And for me, as someone that I actually don't care about the result on Sunday. For me, if Chelsea win, it makes the league title race a little closer. I like that because it keeps the conversations going. But it's going to be an amazing game. Salute to Andre Berta. Proper squad building. Yeah, O'Malley is spot on, mate. Two bird cooked tonight. Saka, Nando sauce, anyone? Oh yeah, the Egal of Bayern Munich and then the and Spurs. At first I didn't get it, and then I did. Then my brain kicked into gear. Arsenal game was top tier football from both teams. Yeah, I thought it was high quality football. High quality football indeed. There's no doubt about that. What this private chat saying here? I'm going to bring the panel on in a moment. But, and I'm sorry to make you guys wait longer, but it's just one of those nights because so many things happened tonight and so many things were discussed. But I do want to speak about this game too. And Arne Slot's got to be sacked. Arne Slot has got to go. Now, I don't believe he's the only problem. But I do believe a new head coach, a new voice, could help jumpstart the team. I'll go back to Slot in a minute. And again, remember, people, to please like, share, and subscribe. how do I say this in the right way? What the fuck was Van Dijk doing for the penalty? What? Was he appealing sound being fouled for his arm in the air at the wrong time? Horrendous from him. Horrendous from the captain. PSV came out and they had some confidence because right now, getting a result at Liverpool is deemed plausible and possible every single step of the way. Every step of the way. He gave Liverpool the worst possible start. That's not on Slot. They didn't fight back really well, Liverpool. And I felt for the rest of that first half, they were the aggressor. They got a goal back. Really well worked by Gakpo. Good shot. Poor save, I felt, by the goalkeeper, but Szoboszlai there. And I was quite happy for Szoboszlai as a football fan because he's been one of the very few shining lights this year. 1-1. They were then the dominant team for the rest of that first half. Every stat shows it. The eye test shows it. The only criticism I would give is, could they maybe be a little better with the final ball and create some better chances? Lots of shots, but not big chances. But they come out in the second half, Liverpool, and for me, there was a lack of intensity. There was a lack of togetherness. And considering they were shooting towards the Kop end, it was like the belief dissipated. And then they were just susceptible to every single counter-attack just on a crazy level. And the second goal, again, Slot's going to get a lot of the blame for this, but Mo Salah needs to be called out big time. He gets beaten too easily and then turns around and walks. Doesn't chase after his man. Doesn't try to recover the situation. I don't care how many goals you've scored. I don't care how much you've won the club. I don't care what you're being paid. Unacceptable from Mo Salah. And then you got Kirkheads. Listen, when you play football as a kid, you are taught, don't ever allow yourself as a defender to be in a situation where you see the number of the player ahead, the opponent ahead of you. Once you see their number, you're up shit's creek without a paddle. So Salah and Kirkheads for the second goal. Such bad individual mistakes and laziness. Then the third goal. And I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, it makes me chuckle. What is Konate doing? What is he doing? Again, is that Slot's fault? Is Slot really at fault? Maybe. I could be wrong here. And maybe he's partly to blame. But the players tonight should hold their head in shame. But when it comes to Arne Slot, look, he won them a trophy. And I spoke about this on my Straight Facts podcast earlier today. Yes, he's won them trophies. Yes, he's helped them achieve some greatness in the game, some history. But replacing him, they're not replacing a manager who's got a team that's in a massive transition where there isn't loads of good players, where they haven't been winning recently. It's just all fallen apart. Now, one thing from last season that I'm probably guilty of overlooking was the amount of times they conceded first but recovered. They've then made some adjustments to the system, which he has done. Hughes and Edwards have allowed it. I still think Mo Salah and I still think Van Dijk can look well off their normal pace, irrespective of the system. Konate has suddenly just turned into an absolute clown, a clown of a player. And the new signings have been awful. And even Ekitike, who started magnificently, has regressed. Now, that might be the team issues and everything else. So I look at all this situation and you have to look at the manager and say, can someone new come in and just breathe some life into them? Because that's what Liverpool need right now, is resuscitation. And I don't think Slot can do it. And the challenge you can throw at me, and I'm open to it, is, well, Terry, you thought we'd have an amazing season with all the signings you got. I did. I didn't think you'd change too much about your system. And it's more because I trust Hughes and Edwards. Just as a football fan, those two are just geniuses. I can't believe they've overseen this. What you guys have done is what I would have expected the Glazers and Ed Woodward to do at Man United. That's honestly the level of it. So for me, you're buying players that I know of and go, wow, he's good. And I know you're well run. Your manager just won the league. So for me, I would never have looked at that and gone, mix this new concoction together. I thought it was going to taste like, an apple martini. Just beautiful. I don't know about an apple martini. I mean, a vodka martini. What the fuck's an apple martini? I don't even know. I thought it was going to taste look classy and be beautiful. It's not. It's come out tasting like shit. Water from the dunny. And I've said it and I've said it before. The players have got to be held accountable. The board have got to be reprimanded by the fans. But I think Arne Slot's got to go. I think there needs to be the yellow headings on Sky. Arne Slot gone. And that might trigger some Liverpool fans that it might say it isn't my place as a United fan to say it. And I'm not saying this from as a United fan, keep him. But something broke. Something broke at Liverpool. Because this isn't just losing. 3-0 defeat. 3-0 defeat. 4-1 defeat. 2 of them at home. That's different. That's different. It's a different kind of broken, if you get where I'm coming from. And I think every Liverpool fan worth his or her salt knows this. Now, I'm looking at Liverpool's games here in recent weeks. 3 losses on the bounce, as I say, by 3 clear goals. Beat Real Madrid and beat Villa, yes. But then lost to Palace, by the way, 3-0 in the actually, this is crazy. They conceded 3 to Palace in the League Cup, 3 to Brentford. Okay, 2 to Man United, 2 to Chelsea, and then it was narrow defeats to Palace and Galatasaray. But the performances are getting worse. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. The last 12 games, there have been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 defeats in 12. Now, when I say it's different, when Mikel Arteta first took over Arsenal, and they were a broken club and building their squad, there was loads of bad runs like that. Man United have been in the pits for years and getting worse. And Amorim hasn't improved this. You kind of get... But I don't know if Amorim's lost 9 out of 12 games in all comps. But why this... He probably has, by the way. But not with a team that were champions, who they then spent almost £500 million on. Something in there, it's a different level of broken. So I think he's going to have to go. It's a shame for him. And it's a shame for Liverpool fans. And I mean that wholeheartedly. But it's absolutely unacceptable. My only message to everybody that wants Slot gone, I don't disagree with you wanting him out, is still be having a word in the shell of those players. Still be having a word in their ear. Still be having a word in their ear. Because some of them have been nowhere near the standard, irrespective of the system. The mistakes. Mo Salah today. And you guys know I back Mo Salah a lot. The laziness for that second goal. Unacceptable for any player at a club like Liverpool to do that. But look, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, people. I loved it. I can't wait to read them back. Right, my peeps, I'm going to bring the panel out now. It's enough of me and my big mouth talking. Let me just move myself over on the screen because there's a lot of Gooners, a lot of Liverpool fans backstage that want to come on and have their say tonight. Who we got? So who should we bring out? I'll get to it. Who we got? Look at Dom Husam is here. Tom Little. Hey. All right, boys. We've got Ram in the house. All right, gents. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hello, boys. Hope you're all well and good. We've got some Arsenal fans coming soon. We've got Anton here. Thad is with us. Brandon's here. Trimless is here. Jason is with us.
Come on, brother.
Come on. Everybody to the show. Sorry about my terrible singing, by the way. I'm not very good.
No, you're good, man. I was smiling. Big up, man. Golden buzzer.
At least talking someone was.
I'm going to come to the Arsenal boys in a minute, but Husam, did you imagine tonight you would get piped 4 times, beaten 4-1 by PSV?
No, I didn't imagine it. No one imagined it. Even the negative, minded people said if we lose today, it's going to be like a tight game or whatever. But this is just bullshit, to be honest with you. This is done. 10 goals conceded in 3 games, 1 goal scored. Absolutely abused at Anfield as well by PSV Eindhoven. I think for me that in itself is just unacceptable, just by itself, as a solo reason, to go against, the manager staying. Basically, he's got to go now. It's done. It's finished. All this we sit up here, خلاص يعني. I defended the guy. Me and Tom were on the same side, and Ram and Rax, with the whole slot in, slot out debate. We were all on the same side. We backed the manager, but it's خلاص. It's time to go now. We cannot sit up here and keep lying to each other. It's finished. It's done. It's all over. Thanks for the league title, but it's just the management of the new players, the management of the of the team, of the squad, has just not been good enough, to be honest with you. And yeah, he has to go tonight. We need a club statement from the football club. Club statement. Thank you, Arnie. The contract has been terminated with mutual consent, or whatever the hell they say. So that's what's needed, in my opinion. And when it comes to the players, fuck all the players except Soboslai and XTK. And Kirk, as I thought, was okay today. The rest of the players can all go fuck themselves. Every single one of them can go fuck themselves. Van Dijk, we can sit up here and Konate. Van Dijk was worse than Konate today. Van Dijk is the captain as well, playing volleyball like we're watching the fucking Olympics for the first goal. Completely unnecessary. He was so adamant about the foul. I watched the replay. I was so sure that there was going to be a foul because he bitched so much to the referee. I watched it and I'm like, where the fuck is the foul? He's just playing volleyball in our own thing. That felt like Steven Gerrard away at Blackburn. Like Van Dijk himself is slot out. Like he was running around almost trying to get sent off. Like it's fucking weird. Konate for the goal was shit. Curtis Jones at right back is a midfielder, probably the worst option to put it over there. Gravenberch and McAllister, both of these guys were in team of the season last year. And then it's become the double pivot from hell because we're asking them to do shit that they're not comfortable with. Gravenberch today, my God. I cannot say a single good word about him. Soboslai, fair enough, had a good game. Ekitike tried. Gakpo, when Slot leaves, Gakpo can go with him. It's okay. I know you're going to miss your son. Take him to your next club. I can't believe he stayed on the pitch for the 90 minutes. I cannot believe it. I actually cannot believe it. Salah got done dirty for the goal that we conceded. I think he should be doing better from a defensive perspective. But once again, he created at least. It's not an agenda. It's not a narrative. He created at least. He did something, I'm not giving him just praise for the sake of it, but he did something at least on the football pitch from a creative perspective. He was an outlet today. He did something, but the players the performances aren't good enough. But the truth of the matter is, and this is the harsh reality of football, you cannot logistically sell 20 players. You just can't. You legitimately, you cannot sell 20 players. It's not like January and May. Yes, you can do squad overhauls. Yes, you can move around players, but you can't sell 20. And at the same time, the manager of Liverpool Football Club can be losing 9 games in 12. Are we Wolves? Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League in 12 Premier League games lost 10. We've lost 9 in 12. Wolves would love half of our team. You think if you give Vitor Pereira or whichever the fuck, they have 4 different managers this season, so he'd take all our team. He'd take all our team over every single Wolves player, and they wouldn't be in this position right now. So this is my thing now. It's just untenable at this point. Anfield spoke up today. Anfield spoke up loud and clear. They emptied. It was done. The 4th goal was just humiliating. 3rd goal, humiliating, embarrassment. And some of these players as well need to hang their head in shame. This badge means something. You wear it and you play like fucking shit. They deserve criticism, including our captain, Virgil, including Konate, including so many players out there on the football pitch. The only one that deserves to credit is Soboslai, Ekitike, and maybe a little bit Karkas for me. Other than that, they all deserve to get cooked. And it's just, the lack of effort for me is 2 things I'll speak on. I don't want to speak for two things. Number 1, there is a genuine thing now where you can say Slot has lost the dressing room because the players aren't trying. So like this is the one moment where I can say he's lost the dressing room because they aren't even trying for him. And the second thing is I think Slot has managed like ass this season. Completely managed these players like not in a good way in my opinion. I think that's something that's let him down. Just the preparation, the mental preparation, the man management I think has let him down this season.
Listen up. Yeah, I hear you, mate. Harsh words, but words are definitely needed. On a different note, Saad, 3-1 win over Bayern Munich. Talk to me about that annihilation of the Germans.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I know you guys don't like this. Alhamdulillah. Tonight I smashed your boy. These man said Bayern, best team in the world. And I smashed them. In that second half, I made them look average. Like some any other Premier League team that I'm playing. That's how we made Bayern Munich look. And Bayern Munich have taken down some big dogs. Do you know what I mean? They play PSG. They played these men and made them look average at times. So, listen, I have to say, I think we're best team in the world right now. Because there's no way that I'm beating the best team and making them look average for me not to then say I'm the best team in the world. Yes, we have to win stuff. Yes, the players have to win stuff and before they can be classed this and that. But I think at this time, in the form that we're in, we are the best team in the world. Now, on the game, first half, it was edgy. Do you know what I mean? We scored a wonderful set piece. They come back with another brilliant goal for themselves, which, to be honest, we shouldn't be falling asleep. I hate that. Sometimes we just fall asleep in games and then the team just hits us because we have a chance to just, if we really sit there and compose for the whole game, then we can really do something mad with this not conceding goals because our defense is really mad. Like the fact that we're able to still look this compact without Gabriel is crazy. I said this after the Spurs game. Everybody said to me, it's only Spurs. Spurs are shit. Spurs are useless. They're nothing. This was Bayern Munich. Harry Kane, Olise, Gnabry. These men are killing people. They're dogs. You give them an inch of space, bro. You give them an inch of space, bro. They're taking it and they're running, and then all of a sudden it's 2-3-0, and you're like, yo, what's going on? And the way Mosquera is handling the pressure, because it's not easy to just come from Valencia or wherever he came from. I think it was Valencia that we bought him from. To come from Valencia, then to be playing in Champions League for Arsenal against Bayern Munich, who are the best team in the world, and to just perform like that, put a very good performance on the table. As for the rest of the team, listen, that second half, I like what Arteta did there. Yes, he took off Saka, which was a bit confusing, but he put on. The reason why he took off Saka is because he wanted Martinelli on the left side and he wanted Madueke on the right side. He took a risk. I saw Arteta take a risk. He said, "You know what? I know it's 1-1. We're still drawing the game. Normally, the Arteta before would say, you know what? Let's bring on a defender. Let's see if we can leave the same attackers on, and let's see if we can maybe get a goal. But let me bring on some defenders to try and get the team more compact." Just now, what we saw him do is put on players who are going to take their man on, who are going to cause a problem, pacey wingers, people who are going to cause a problem in that attack. And what they did is exactly that. Madueke, brilliant goal from him. Martinelli, brilliant to get a touch. I'm so happy that piece of shit, Manuel Neuer, finally got what he deserves because he's a piece of shit. He always comes out of his goal running. This time it bit him in the ass because I hate that he does that. He's a sick goalkeeper, one of the best in history. But bro, I have an agenda.
The goalkeeper comes off his line.
No, but he always does it, bro, and he does it to a level that's so extreme.
What do you mean about weird?
There's a level. He does it to a level.
Walks out of his goal.
Just walks fast. No running.
No. There's a level that he does it to such an extreme level, bro, that it pisses me off so bad.
That's why he's the best.
But regardless, that's just one of my agendas. You know what I mean? It might be weird, but I hate that. But regardless, the fact that we're able to make in that second half, the fact that we're able to make them look that average, I just have to clap my team. I have to clap the boys. I have to clap the manager for that change that he made to bring on those attacking players. And I'll be real. Listen, I'm ready for Chelsea on the weekend. Right now, we look like one of the best teams in the world. And I'm ready for Chelsea on the weekend, man. This gives the boys extra confidence. I'm so happy because this means that this game on the weekend is going to be mad. You've got Chelsea who are up in confidence right now after the Barcelona win, and you got Arsenal who are got extra confidence because of this Bayern Munich win. Like, do you know what I mean? It's going to be a hell of a game on Sunday.
It's certainly going to be a hell of a game. There's no doubt about that. I'll be back with the boys in a minute. I'm going to bring Egal through in a minute, who's backstage. Tom Little. I know you've been defending. Cheers, son. I know you've been defending Arne Slot Is it time for him to go now?
Probably, yeah. Probably. Tonight was Liverpool's first group stage loss at Anfield that wasn't behind closed doors since Brendan Rodgers was manager. Jurgen Klopp had 9 years at this football club and was never defeated at home in the Champions League group stage. Whilst there were fans there. Arne Slot took, one season. He's breaking all the wrong records at the minute. 9 losses in 12. Worst run of form since I can tell he's wearing black and white. I'm sitting there watching us. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so unbelievably bad. This is a team that, even the crap teams I've seen, even the Hodgsons, even the fucking Dalglish in 2011, even the fucking first year of Rodgers and the final year of Rodgers, they were still somewhat difficult to beat at home.
Yeah.
They were still somewhat difficult to beat at Anfield. We've just been done 7-1 in 4 days at Anfield. 7-1 in 4 days at Anfield by a team that were fucking... They've been through 2 managers, including Ange Postecoglou, and a team that aren't even in one of the top 5 leagues. Attacking-wise, we're so slow, we're so predictable, we're so shit. Our entire game plan is to give it to wingers and then have them go on 1v1 battles, except one of the wingers has never been great at one-on-one battles, and the other one is now 34, and teams just double up and triple up on him. And then we sit there and go, fuck, why isn't it working? There's no central progression. We have a striker on the pitch to just stand there. He just stands there. He doesn't do anything. Defensively, the players can't be asked. The thing that gets me, there's no one taking responsibility. There's no one taking responsibility. That second goal especially. Their left back is allowed to run 20 yards in our half unchallenged. 20 yards in our half unchallenged. Because no one's sitting there with a pair of fucking bollocks on them going, you know what? Let me go stick one on him. Let me go and hit him. Let him know that, you can't be fucking doing that at Anfield. No, what's happening instead is we're letting teams come to Anfield and walk all over us. Arne Slot has probably, I don't have the stats in hand, but Arne Slot, I'm pretty confident in saying, has probably lost as many home games this season as Jurgen Klopp did in 4 years.
Yeah, no, mate, I hear
it's unbelievably bad. And there's no, the thing is, there's no signs, there's no little sort of, but I can cling on to that. I've at least got that going for me. This is going wrong, but I've at least got that. There's nothing to cling on to, and when there's nothing to cling on to, you've got to let it go. You've got to let it move on. I won't say anything bad about him. I won't say anything bad about Arne Slot because what he done last year is it means an awful lot to me winning me a league title. I've only seen 2 of them in my lifetime. One of them I couldn't even celebrate properly. So to give me that, to give me the end of the season, to give me that season as a whole, I have the utmost respect for him. And because I have the utmost respect for him, I can't watch him keep doing this. I can't watch what I'm seeing. 9 losses in 12 games. 9 losses. He's losing the players. And the most telling thing is he's losing the crowd. That Anfield crowd, I was there at the game on Saturday. I wasn't there tonight, but you could hear it tonight. There is a frustration and there is an acceptance that Liverpool Football Club aren't going to win football matches at Anfield. And when that starts to happen, you have to cut ties, especially. And I'm speaking on this like I've got fucking Aquilani in midfield, like I've got Jovanovic on the wing, like I've got Kyriakos at centre back. Don't get me wrong, they do better than what I've got at the minute. But we spent 450 million quid this summer. We gave 2 record-breaking contracts out in May. We have a squad that, for all intents and purposes, is supposed to be taking the next step. And we've taken 12 backwards. We've taken 12 steps backwards.
Or 9 in 12.
No, we were first last year. We're 12 now. We've taken 11 steps backwards. We've taken 11 steps backwards in the space of 5 months. And the problem, I'll hold me honest, I was guilty of this. I ignored what I was seeing at the back end of last season because the title was wrapped up and I was going, I don't really care. I've got my league title. I'll just party. The signs were there. The more I go back and think about it, the signs were there. We were shit. But for large parts of the back end of last season, but we'd done so well at the start of the season, it didn't really matter. And the team chased us, Arsenal, kept fucking up the same time. We were fucking up, so it didn't really matter. Now that the competitor has taken the next step forward, We decide to take 11 backwards. The problems are just massively obvious.
Yeah.
I'm not on about getting some world beater in. If you need to interim this till the end of the season, if you need to go get a goodwill manager, if you need to go get Stevie Gerrard, because we'll get the fans on side, everyone will respect him, he's a legend. If that's what it's got to come to, that's what it's got to come to. But I can't watch us piss this away again. I can't watch more of this. Where it's just I'm going into games knowing that we're not going to do anything. I've got a 700 million quid squad. I'm going into games knowing I'm not going to win.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, Tom. I do. I hear the frustration. Brandon, a big night for the pussies tonight. Talk to me.
Yeah, another comfortable win in the end. It was. I can't remember feeling like this, Tel, ever in the entire time that I've been an Arsenal fan. It doesn't matter who we play against now. I just go into the game thinking, yeah, I ain't scared. We can beat these. Bayern Munich used to be, we used to have nightmares about Bayern Munich as Arsenal fans. Absolute nightmares about them. I went into tonight's game thinking, yeah, we can beat them comfortably. We can beat them comfortably because of the way we're playing at the moment. The squad, I keep saying it, this squad is probably the best in Europe as a squad. Players are performing to new levels. Players that we thought, we might have to move on from are coming in and doing the business. Madueke scored tonight. Martinelli come off the bench and scored tonight. The only sort of criticism would be with, I suppose, Mars Lewis-Skelly just didn't look at the races tonight, fell asleep for the goal. And I kind of feel sorry for him in a way because you can tell he's just simply not a defender. But aside from that, another fantastic performance. We probably should have scored more goals, if we're being honest. And for a team like Bayern Munich, who in the opening 4 fixtures of the Champions League has scored 14 goals, were the highest scorers in the competition, for us to pretty much nullify them to near on nothing is, bring on Chelsea, Tel. Bring on Chelsea. I heard a lot of Chelsea fans chatting, about how they're supremely confident that they're going to do something on Sunday. I'm not sure they'll be that confident after watching that tonight. I'm really not sure. And
I hear that. I want to throw this out to you and the other Arsenal fans and the panel at large. Obviously, lots of good performances tonight. Eze, Madueke getting his first goal, Calafiori sub appearance, Saka. But another man of the match performance for Declan Rice in the middle tonight. And there was almost like an added bit of pressure with how well Enzo and Caicedo did last night. And he basically said, well, hold my beer, let me show you, and put in another masterclass tonight, which keeps the conversation going, which is great for fans. But how impressed were you with Declan Rice?
He's something else, Tel. He really is something else. He plays pretty much every game. Well, he does play every game for Arsenal. And the engine that this guy has and possesses is just unreal. He doesn't stop running for the entirety of 90 minutes, and he's doing that every 3 to 4 days. Every 3 to 4 days, high intensity, quality as well, that he brings to the table. He was outstanding again tonight. But one thing I want to point out about this Arsenal team, right, is if we go back a couple of seasons ago, we could all sit here and admit now that if we kind of sat there and thought, if Bukayo Saka don't do something, if Bukayo Saka isn't scoring or isn't creating, where is it really coming from in this Arsenal side? Nobody's really consistent with it. But I've been quite impressed by Mourinho as well, to be honest with you, because he's kind of found his feet at Arsenal. He looked a bit dodgy when he came in, when we first signed him. But some of the balls that he plays over the top, some of the weight of pass that he can do, kind of reminds me of the sort of thing that Granit Xhaka used to do for Arsenal in terms of the long range passing, in terms of the weight of pass. It's coming from all angles. And then you've got the players that are kind of on the fringes coming off the bench and showing levels as well, that everybody's fighting for their place. Against Tottenham, Hincapié started against Saliba. It was pretty much seamless. We didn't miss Gabriel. And then tonight you had Mosquera playing alongside Saliba, who had a fantastic performance yet again. And the competition within this squad is what's driving this squad. And Mikel Arteta as well, right? I've been very impressed with him this season. Very impressed with him. He deserves a lot of credit for tonight as well, because his substitutions definitely 100% changed the game. And what I also like about Arteta and what he's doing at the moment is players that are in the red zone, he's taking them off. We're not risking Urian Timber playing 90 minutes when he doesn't need to play 90 minutes. We're bringing on Ben White. We're not risking Bukayo Saka when we've got other options. You know, of course, Declan Rice is probably going to have to play pretty much every game for Arsenal, and there will be one or two players like that. But I like the fact that he's rotating when he needs to rotate. He's making the right decisions at the right time, and the players are coming on from the bench and having an impact. You know, he can't do no wrong at the moment. So big up to him, 100%. And hopefully this just, you know, continues. But I'm supremely confident that we beat Chelsea on Sunday. So
I hear that, mate. Egal, I know you've got a shoot in a minute as well. What did you make of that performance tonight? But I know Bayern Munich's a team you really wanted to stick on for a while.
Bring me Bayern. I've been asking for it, and I got it. Listen, I think we taught a lot of people a lot about what we're capable of doing. If you watch that first half performance and you watch that second half performance and you watch how we transitioned from a team that was off ball to a team that was dominant on the ball, and how we were in and out of possession throughout the game. We played 3 different types of games in the same game. We have plan A, plan B, plan C, and we showed all 3 of them within the same game today. And it just shows how good we are set up tactically and how good we are as a team. I can speak about individual players. I can get into that. But the first thing I want to touch on is that in the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we just sat back. We said, you have possession. Let's see what you're capable of doing. Then they finally started figuring out how to get past our midfield by just bypassing everyone over the top. And what did we do? Second half, we held on to possession. We pinned them back. We dominated the game. We were all over them. And then late in the game, we have players who can come off the bench and they're cash money. Martinelli comes off the bench, cash money. Nani Madueke comes off the bench, cash money. You have all these players coming off the bench making such a big difference. The squad is amazing. Because we score another set piece goal. The set piece threat is there without Gabriel, with Gabriel, whoever it is. Timber's one of our shorter players, and he still scored a set piece goal. And I could talk about Declan Rice, unbelievable player he is. We got him half price. 100 million is unbelievable. The guy should be worth at least 150 million if Florian Wirtz and these guys are going for those kind of prices. No offense, but we can all see he's one of the most talented players in his position. And then Mikel Moreno lately has been getting the best out of this front line. He's been playing at striker, not Gyökeres. I'm not saying he's going to start every game for the rest of the season, but we are doing this with Mikel Moreno up top, not Gyökeres, our big money signing, not Havertz, not Jesus. I'm just so impressed by how Mikel Arteta is able to go out there year in, year out, and just outclass some of these top European sides. We've done it versus Real Madrid. We've done it versus Bayern Munich. We're gonna keep doing it, and hopefully we go forward now. We are the best team in the Premier League. We are the best team in the Champions League. We are the best team in Europe. And Chelsea, whoever you are, you should be fearful, because you've seen this game today. You got battered by Bayern Munich at your ground. We're coming to your ground. We're going to do the same thing.
Tell them again, bro.
But yeah, that's
listen. It makes the game. It makes the game amazing. I love what you said though, Egal, because I was, I felt like a jinxed Arsenal a bit because I tweeted and then they went long ball. But they had 77% of the ball for large parts of the first half, but they couldn't penetrate. It was just one long ball over the top, which I think that will be maybe one of the things that frustrate. When they're doing their debriefing, it'll be, come on, guys, stay alert to these balls over the top. But to stop Bayern Munich from really creating a number of gilt-edged chances, I think that will almost give you more confidence as a team than scoring 3 goals against them, because stopping the best attacking team so far is hugely important in terms of what you can do moving forward.
100%. And also, don't think your win versus Barcelona means anything compared to what we just did right now. What we've shown right now is utter dominance in many different phases. I think Barcelona's high line just goes to show me that Mikel Arteta is underrated, because everyone rates Hansi Flick as this great manager. Me and Ram had a conversation the other day on Mo's channel talking about Arteta and Hansi Flick. I think Arteta right now is showing everybody this team is a force, and the way that he has us drilled, people need to start waking up and just understanding. There's banter, but now even the top managers across Europe are acknowledging what we're doing is unbelievable.
Yep, there's no doubt about that. It's certainly fantastic. Viewers, we're going to go to some more of your super chats a little bit later in the show. We haven't forgotten about them, so stay with us. If you haven't done it yet, get liking the stream as well. Nearly 3,000 likes since we've been live. Over 62,000 people have tuned in over the course of the last hour. So thank you all very, very much for doing that for us. Obviously, a big night tonight. Spurs getting battered after leading twice. Liverpool losing 4-1. And my Arsenal doing the business as well tonight. That'll trigger a few morons.
Hey, Liverpool fans, cheer up. Slot's going to be gone.
I don't know about that. It's one of the weird ones. I've got to drive to Manchester tomorrow, and I'm thinking purely of the... Sorry, go on, Rack.
Egal, let's not forget, you were Arteta out as well. You were Arteta out. Don't try it. I forgot. You were Arteta out.
There is no stop. There is no stop.
Wait, when was this? When was Egal ever Arteta out?
1 second.
I was there, mate. I was there.
We were there. Rack, we were there, remember?
You were Arteta out. So
all right.
You want to send me the clip of that? I can't even believe that. Are you serious?
No, ask Terry. Terry, don't hide.
Ask Terry. It was on the terrace.
Terry,
1 second. This was after Manchester City beat us.
I think it was after Crystal Palace beat you, if my memory serves me right. I think Crystal Palace.
Man City.
Maybe it was Man City. Yeah.
But fair play.
Yeah, he said
he definitely turned me around, and immediately.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a manager changing your opinion. Nothing wrong with a manager changing your mind.
Don't worry. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, Egal said, I want him out. I'll never change my mind. He'll never win anything. He'll never get playing good football. No, he didn't. I'm joking.
I just said he might be a dead man walking. And if this means he has to go for us to win, fair. But right now.
Yeah.
You also said Arteta out as well.
Listen, so did Husam said Arnie Slot out before he kicked the ball for you guys, and he won the league. So it doesn't matter.
The manager doesn't actually kick a ball.
See, that's why you
I said before you guys.
No, Arteta kicks balls. What are you talking about? Have you not watched?
I've never. See, this is the great thing about being me. This is why you guys all wish you were me, because I've never got a single managerial appointment prediction wrong or player prediction wrong. I've got them all right. So it's just the way it is. And by the way, to the toaster people and the dum-dums, that's called sarcasm.
You know what you should do, Terry? You should do next time a manager sacked, you should do a watch a couple seconds of the announcement video you did, just to see what people thought about it.
Yeah, mate. Listen, it's funny because I go back and look at all the Man United ones. I always go back and look at the announcement videos. And what I say in every single one of them is really excited about what he might bring to us. But if the recruitment's bad and if the ownership don't change direction and the culture don't get fixed, give it a year and we'll be here. Every fucking time I've been right. Not every time I've been right. It's painful. I don't like watching those fuckers back. Yes,
not
bro.
to call you out because I have much respect for you, but I did have a clip of you when I was on and I was having an argument with, I believe it was Henry, about if Eze would sign for Arsenal, and you were like, why are we having this conversation right now? It's elementary at the moment. He looks like he's going to sign for Spurs.
Yeah, because it was announced there was a total agreement between the two clubs.
Transfers different. Shit happens.
Yeah,
it's funny.
But equally, no, I do agree. I think that every single one of us as a content creator should never be worried about these things. Jason's here with us. Jason was only one level shy of burning Arteta's house down to get him out of the country. Like, he hated him that much. But of course, that's an exaggeration. We all get things wrong. We all have moments of, and this is the thing with football, it's an emotional sport. I worry more about the fans who never get emotional, who are just sort of like monotone, win, lose, or draw. I sort of sit there and think, you're fucking alien or something. You're not human. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. But we all have those moments. We all get things wrong. It's the beauty of what we do. But my message to every up-and-coming content creator, being right or wrong doesn't dictate how many people tune in and watch you, your growth, the opportunities you get. It's more about your personality. So stop fixating on being right and fixate on showing your true self to people, and you'll always do well in this space. But Ram, my old little two-backer, what you saying tonight, mate? Because on a real level, the boys have said it already. Players tonight awful in their application, mistakes everywhere. Salah lazy, the whole shebang. But Slot, surely, I mean, you guys are you refreshing the timeline now? Because I don't know how he survives this, Ram.
I don't either, man. I really do. I've made my point clear on Saturday. I've made it clear ever since that Nottingham Forest game that I wanted the manager to go. I don't like to say the whole sort. I still think he deserves a little bit of respect when he leaves because he did give me number 20, and I'll be forever grateful for it. But look, back to back losses by a 3-0 deficit is quite mad. 3-0 against City, 3-0 against Nottingham Forest, and then 4-1 against PSV, and 2 of them were in your own gaff. I'm sorry, man. There is no escaping that. There is no escaping that. There is levels to this, and like what Tom said, like what the commentators have said, it's our worst ever form since 1953. Terry wasn't even born then. It was like 20 years before Terry was even born.
19 50.
That was before England won the World Cup as well.
53. It's 2 years before my dad was born, you cheeky sod. You know what I mean?
Even worse, Terry.
And my dad's 70, bruv.
Even worse, Terry. I think it was before Bill Shankly even became manager, and that's a long time ago.
Jeez.
Is bad. Is really, really bad. Look, going into the season, I was hoping, I'll be going toe to toe with the likes of Bayern, the likes of Barca, the likes of PSG. But I wasn't hoping.
You know what you're doing though. You're not going toe to toe.
I'm going toe to toe with PSV.
No, you're not going toe to toe.
What about
hang on, Anton. You're not going toe to toe. You're bending over and touching your toes. Is what you're doing, me old mate. That's what you guys are doing.
No, we're not even doing it to PSG, man. We're doing it to PSV. PSV of all teams. Like it's crazy, and like you talked about it. The manager deserves a lot of criticism, but I guarantee you, and I said this in the group chat, the only player that I will back in this team is Dominic Szoboszlai. That's it. Virgil van Dijk is doing his best Beyonce impression by putting his hand in the air. What's it called? We got Konate being a bozo at the back. Then the manager decides to put Klavenberg as a centre back when he's a DM. We play Curtis Jones as a right back, which it just looked incredibly poor. Kirkes doesn't know his left from his right. He doesn't know whether to press or whether to fall back. It's just everything is a complete mess. It's a complete mess. And our attacking play, man, lots of ISO football, man. 1v1s, taking players 1v1 when we don't have the capacity of the players to do it anymore. We don't have the likes of Luis Diaz. Our passing interplay has been absolutely shocking. Our organization has been shocking. And this all stems back to what I've been saying. The manager deserves a lot of criticism, 100%. He deserves to go. The records that we have is inexcusable. He's breaking all the wrong records. But some of these players are getting away with murder, getting away with absolute murder. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for Szoboszlai. He's the actually only one going. I saw at one point when PSV were counter-attacking us, Szoboszlai went past 7 people from the PSV penalty area to get back and defend. Where is that fight from our other players? Where is it? If it was me, I would take the captain's armband off of Van Dijk and give it to Szoboszlai. Because that's how poor our leadership has been. That's how poor the desire has been. And I get it. The manager's setting us up to fail, but at least show some damn fight in your own home, bro. But no, not only the players have, not only the managers let Anfield be a whorehouse, the players have let Anfield be a whorehouse as well, because everyone is penetrating us left, right, and centre, man, in our own home.
Penetration in the location. It's bad times for Liverpool, but I'm not gonna lie, it's enjoyable, isn't it? It's so enjoyable. But this is how bad your defeat is tonight. Everyone's forgot that Spurs were leading twice against Paris Saint-Germain and got piped for 5. Like that's the craziest part with your result. I couldn't believe it. Like I went out to the bathroom at 3-1, came in, and the camera had panned to Slot, and he's looking all bald and gormless. I thought, oh, they ain't conceded again, have they? You had, I couldn't believe. I thought 4. It's like, oh, I felt like a guest at a Ferrero Rocher party. Oh my God, they're spoiling us. I just felt like that, man. It's crazy. Trimless, talk to me about Arsenal tonight, bro. I'd like to get your take on some of your players tonight. Rice, Eze, Madueke getting his first goal, because your player, I know the manager got the tactics right and the system and the subs, but the players tonight again stood up and made themselves be counted.
Yeah, no, man. Big up to everyone coming on, especially the Liverpool fans, man. I respect you for coming on after that dismantling. So big up respect. But yeah, man, for the players, I think firstly the mental block for me getting over that was a mad one because we know what the mental block is with Bayern, and I think for them to finally get over that and make it a statement as well, because as we've been saying, we could even get more. It's very positive to see, very promising. As a comment said earlier, which was still resonating in my mind, was we did beat PSG. I know, as you said, PSG weren't great when we beat them in these group stages, but so we still need to keep it calm and collective, take it step by step in that manner. But it was a very, very, very promising performance. And in terms of Madueke, yes, because people were giving him the 007. He's come on, he's got his goal, and I'm happy that we have direct attacking threat that we can bring on into a game and actually be a different type of option to a Trossard and a Saka who are more conservative and more want to play the safe pass and beat the man more of as a last option. And it's a shame to see Trossard go down. I hope it's not a long thing because he's really been kicking into his groove this season. But the fact that we can bring on this attacking kind of directness is different. We're not used to really seeing that. We're used to making subs out wide, and it's pretty much the same as what we've been seeing for the whole 60 minutes prior to that. So it was very good to see. This is the first game as well for me for Zubimendi that I've seen him step up in a bigger game against a higher class opposition. I think in the other games he has gone a bit missing. Even against Spurs wasn't great, but this is the first game that I saw him be a bit more comfortable and composed, and just making the right choices and a bit quicker. We've been going on about Rice there. That tank is mad, bro. Like the way he can just keep going. And I love the way he's confident enough to press high up the pitch. And then he knows Zubimendi's there covering. And then out wide, I think everyone defensively today was working hard. Like when Madueke came on, he was working hard, whether he was on the left and right. And it was just good to see how much we're working as a unit, as a team. It's solid, and I'll be so real. I'm not fearing Chelsea at all. They beat a Barca team that are quite attacking, and if you watch La Liga, you watch Barca's games, like even against Celta Vigo the other day, bro. The teams can score against Barca, innit? So I feel like it's going to be a very interesting one, but I'm very confident. And the mental block for me of just beating Bayern Munich as a fan, the players for Arteta, it's going to do a lot confidence-wise, but it all means nothing if we don't get over that line. But in terms of tonight, I'm very happy. I'm very excited. And again, commiserations to my downed patrons here.
Yeah, mate, I listen, I hear you. I think there's some real exciting times ahead. The opposite of exciting, though, I suppose, Rack, is your feeling towards football at the moment. You might, it might be a little bit like me. I don't look forward to Man United games. You feeling that way with Liverpool, where it's like, oh, we play again?
It's a weird one, so I haven't been on for a few weeks. I was away on a holiday and
avoiding us. Yeah.
It was time difference. I was in Japan, so I had a bit of an excuse. KJ can verify. So.
Oh, bonjour. That's a very English thing for everybody wondering. It's playing the dumb Englishman, not understanding other languages, in case you feel I'm being offensive. But anyway, sorry, Rack, back to... Got to explain jokes to the younger generation, because some of them are a bit...
Hey, me and Rack got it.
Yeah, I know. You're a bit of an old solo, aren't you, Ram? But sorry, back to you, Rack. Sorry, my friend.
Yeah, so... and I think... our poor form started just before then. And then when I was away in Japan, obviously we beat Real Madrid, and I thought, okay, maybe that's the catalyst. And as a football fan, sometimes you think you try and be positive, right? You get a win, or you show some signs, and you think, okay, now that's the team that I know, that's the team that I recognize. We should push on from here. We've signed good players. We haven't been playing well, but when you sign quality, you expect after a period of time that things get better. And they've got progressively worse. And look, in the same way that we've taken the piss out of Chelsea and Arsenal and Man United, football, what goes around comes around. Football is cyclical. And I completely understand why people are criticizing us. We deserve criticism. And obviously we're critical of ourselves. One of the things that I've always said to is, like, I love Liverpool. I love Liverpool fans, but we have this thing where we kind of, maybe it's like an air of superiority. And I've always said, actually, deep down, we're all pretty much the same. Arsenal fans are the same as Liverpool fans are the same as United fans are. If things start going badly, then we throw our toys out of the pram, we go crazy, we shout and scream. And when things are going well, like I look at some of the stuff that's coming out about Arsenal this season, and yeah, you know, as opposition fans, sometimes we'll come out and say it's a bit cringe and stuff, but Arsenal fans are genuinely happy. Last season, we were genuinely happy. One of the reasons why I got quite annoyed at Arsenal fans last season is we were genuinely happy, and they spent most of their time saying the only reason we were on top was because we were because they had injuries. And I found that a bit disrespectful. So you know, I don't mind Arsenal as much as you know, I don't. Obviously, United are kind of main rivals and stuff. I don't dislike Arsenal to that extent. And it is, you know, when Eze signed for Arsenal, it was a nice moment and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, those are the nicer sides of football. When you're losing like we're losing at the moment, I've you know, I'm not a content creator. I haven't got my own channel, so I don't. When you were saying it comes a lot about is a lot about personality. For me, I've just kind of gone a bit quiet. I'm not tweeting as much. I'm not watching as much stuff that's Liverpool related, and that's just because I'm not really the kind of person who throw my toys out of the pram or shout and scream. At least not on YouTube. I'll do it at home with the TV or you know, in the stadium or whatever.
Are you implying Terry does that?
No. But we all do. No, but
I do that. Yeah, I do it.
But you know, people entitled to respond how they want to respond. There's no right or wrong.
The thing with it is this: is that again, I mean, I do have a choice. I don't have to go live, although it's my job, right? It'd be weird to not do my job. But I think that's part and parcel of it. With content creators, a lot of people think. I think certain people on TikTok definitely fake it, but I think there is this element of. Sometimes you don't really want to go on camera. When we lost the Europa League finals of Villarreal, more so than Spurs, I don't remember that stream, and I was stone cold sober. I was so angry I didn't want to be there. And that's why sometimes you'll see people afterwards doing their... I say the other day, right? He's a content creator. It's his job, whether people like it or not. And he's fuming. If he would have done what he normally did before content was a thing, he'd have gone home angry. But by the time he spoke to people at work the next morning, he'd have calmed down. But it's different. The kind of banter and shit you get online is not the same as when you were getting banter off a couple of mates and then you got on with the rest of your life. So that's why you sometimes see a more visceral and more angry reaction from people. It's because, I've got to face all that. And it's there. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, it's there. It absolutely is on every single level. So I do get it, mate. I do get it 100%.
And like, you know, up until recently, I've been pretty adamant that I'm going to give Slot more time, and I don't want to say Slot out, but ultimately the manager lives by the sword and dies by the sword. You know, there comes a point when results managers are judged by the results, and when the results aren't coming, ultimately he's the person who has to pay the price. Now, you know, maybe there's people at Liverpool who've got a deeper insight into what's going on behind the scenes, and perhaps there's stuff that's not come out and all that kind of stuff. All we as fans can do is speculate, but it looks appalling. Right now, it looks worse than when the time when Klopp lost all those games at home, when we had those when I had all our centre backs out. We had all our centre backs out. There was arguably a bit of a reason for that happening. Now we are just completely devoid of confidence.
No, mate, it reminds me of Gattuso with you guys. It's like sometimes maybe shit, sometimes maybe very shit. It's kind of it's kind of like that of them. And listen, I hear you, mate, and like, I'm enjoying watching it. At the same time, again, this is me talking as a football fan who talks about football for a living. That one issue with you losing all these games is, as much as it's great to banter you right now, if it continues for a few more weeks, it becomes boring, actually. Again, some people keep doing it, but for me, maybe the age I am, I go, there's no more to laugh about. Their season's over. They can't win this. They're out of that. So it's one of those things for me where I look at it, and for someone who talks about football, so I want conversations to keep going. I need conversations so that people are engaged. Then I could do with Liverpool turning a corner, or maybe I could do with them sacking him, because it gives us a new conversation. But as a pure United fan, just keep losing every week, please, brother.
It's the same.
And you know what? It's like that's a completely normal thing. Like, we've spent the money we spent, and we are where we are, and we deserve criticism for it. We deserve people to laugh at us, because we would be doing it if it was Chelsea, if it was Arsenal, if it was United, and we've done it certainly to Chelsea and Arsenal and United over the years. That's football. You got to give it sometimes, and sometimes you got to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that completely, mate. But you have got to learn to. That's the thing with the banter, and this is one of the reasons why I gave up all the biased stuff. I've always been quite unbiased as a football fan in my life. However, giving it up, I can't advocate enough to people the freedom it gives you. And I'm not lying about, people that go on caravan holidays that go, oh my God, it gives you the kind of freedom that other holidays don't give you. It's not a bullshit line like that. I genuinely feel better praising Liverpool when they're good and criticizing them when they're bad, rather than even when they're good, looking for like Arsenal this week, people shitting on the Tifo thing because the club paid for it. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, did I used to sound like these idiots back in the day? Like I just find that stuff wet, bruv. Like it's a dry lunch thing to do. Where I'm from, you don't want to be a dry lunch. It's as simple as straightforward as that. Anton, I've been sitting there for a while, looking like one of the three blind mice. What do you want to say about your Arsenal tonight, mate?
I'm immensely proud of this team. I know everyone's expecting me to come out here and be like, best team in Europe, which, by the way, I'm gonna get there. But I want to start off with how proud I am of this team, the performance they put today. This is a team, Bayern Munich, who, they posted on their social media platform on Twitter yesterday all of the results that they've pulled off against us. 5-1 3 times. People remember it was on 2 legs. They also beat us once in the group stages 5-1. They beat us 2 years ago. They knocked us out of the Champions League. They have a real mental edge over us historically. And there are a lot of fans going into this game being like, you know what? As much as I badly want to beat Bayern, I think I'm just going to, I'm okay with a draw. Let's spin it to the side because let's focus on Chelsea. And for me, I never was subscribing to that. I always had this game circled with a red marker because this is the game where Arsenal had the chance to show everybody what we are. And KJ said it best in our group chat today, which is like, Arsenal have repaid me for all the chess that I've been coming on here and showing, because where are we now? I said Arsenal the best team in Europe. And at the time it was like, whoa, what the hell is this guy saying? Crazy take. And now I think everybody else on this panel has said it, but it rolls off the tongue. And at this point, like that game last week on the weekend against Tottenham was amazing, but this one for me feels a little bit better because it feels like it's vindicated everything that we've done this season. And like all the players, bar Miles Lewis-Skelly, who I thought just struggled today with Gnabry and Elise at times, and young Carl as well, gave him a torrid time as well when he shifted out to that space. So, but beyond that, everybody else was a minimum 7 out of 10 today, and Declan Rice was a 11 if you can give a player a high of a score. He was absolutely phenomenal. Pavlovic and Kimmich could not deal with him in midfield. He was absolutely dictating everything. And there are some receipts. I was sitting here with you, Terry, and people were asking, hey, who's better, Saka or Elise? Can we put that one to rest today? Now, you can say, it was 1-1 until Saka came off. But I think that Bayern couldn't deal with him. I think that had nothing to do with the scoreline. It's
only because Marino missed 2 really good chances and Mascara should have put a ball in the back. It probably should have been 3 or 4-1 at that point.
Yeah. And the man of the match to me today, I just gave Rice an 11, has got to be the manager, because I sat here. I think a lot of people will agree that Calafiori should be coming on. But the one part that people didn't really get, it was like he pulled Saka, was having a great game, off for Martinelli and put Noni onto the right. And within seconds, Calafiori delivers a ball to Madueke that scores the winner. Like, I mean, that is incredible vision as a manager to understand. I could take off Bukayo Saka here to put my team in a position to score the winner. And then Martinelli goes on, makes it comfortable. I mean, at the moment, as Brandon was saying and Asa was saying, it's feeling comfortable and easy to watch into these games. I don't really have nerves going into these games anymore. Now, I think this game at the weekend, and I'm going to be honest here, Chelsea have looked very impressive. And I'm not talking about Burnley. I'm talking about last night.
Yeah.
I didn't say much in the group chat yesterday because I'm like, damn, no, Chelsea is serious. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want anything to come back at me on the weekend if something were to happen, because they're serious. But if we were to put them to the side, I mean, I don't know if it's too early to start planning parades. That's how good this team is right now. So
yeah, look, I mean, look, you can say those things. You're an Arsenal fan. It's your club. My thing is, I'd just be enjoying I just enjoy the games because I think, you know, you win this weekend, and I think Chelsea's a hard test. You could lose this game. I don't think it undoes your season. But if you win this game, it's not over because you've still got to stay composed and work hard and win your games. But you'll have such a comfortable position. Maybe what you can actually do as Arsenal fans is feel less stress going into every game and actually enjoy it a little bit more than being in a title race. I said a little while ago and had a lot of challenge on it, and it actually made me rethink my position when I said that you might enjoy it more in terms of enjoy the win of the league more if it's a close race. And quite a lot of people left comments, and I read a lot from the community, and they were like, "No, Terry, we haven't won one in 20 years. I want to win it easy, so it feels I can enjoy it, and there's less pressure." And I thought about it. Well, yeah, that's probably true actually. Rather than it being nerve-wracking, it could actually be enjoyable for maybe winning your second one or third one under Arteta. You'd like to win it in a close race because of the way that feels. So yeah, listen, mate, you guys are going to get the chance to do that. And Jason, I know you kind of gone a little bit sort of 180 this season, and rightfully so, because you've improved and you've gone in that right direction. But you guys were just fantastic again tonight.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's a reason why I went 180. It's one of those things where, like, I had from that day. You know this day really well, Terry. 28th of August, 2011. You know that day?
Say the date again.
28th of August, 2011. Do you know that day?
No.
Was that 8-2? Yeah.
That from that day onwards, I was like, you know what? I had no hope in this club. I'm telling you, every game, I'm just taking it game by game. But this season sparked something different. It's just one of those things where we actually matured a lot, and I've seen it. It's good to see game by game. I haven't been this positive in a couple of whiles, and I had rival fans calling me up or messaging me. I was like, "Why are you getting gassed? I thought you were Arteta out. Why can't I get gassed? I'm an Arsenal fan." I'm just like, yeah, I'm just an Arsenal fan. I put Arsenal first before every other player or manager that comes to our club. Managers and players come and go, but the badge stays. But that's what I'm feeling right now, because you know what? Barring, there's only Arsenal. We've been one of the most consistent team in this league, and beating Bayern today is sending me a big statement, as because they're one of the best teams in the Champions League itself. They won like 4 games in a row. We were like, before the game, we were like joint top, and beating Bayern like with Harry Kane up front is a big test for us. And we showed that we've matured. We've shown that we have grown. And I've this time like 7 years ago, like we lost back-to-back 5-1s, and I was with my lot. They were clowning me, laughing at me. I'm just like,
But Jason. Do you not I get maybe the first 18 months, 2 years of Arteta, but do you not also understand why a lot of Arsenal fans in the last 2 or 3 years have said to you, as angry as you are and wanting to go because you want to win, this is what I heard from a lot of Arsenal fans, and maybe it was easier for me to listen because I'm not emotionally invested, but they're like, the last 2 or 3 years, you've not been getting battered by these. You're not been getting battered by the big six away from home on a regular basis, getting embarrassed by other European teams. You've not quite been at a stage to win those major trophies yet. But that's what I always looked at and thought, when I see like people going mad at Arteta for like not winning the league and narrowly missing out, but going very close.
It's just the most important games. That's why I get mad. That's why.
No, and I understand it, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be upset. I'm not saying you shouldn't criticize, and that's the issue. Is there's a lot of bad content creators out there that tell people that everything's polarized. You either have to be fuming mad at everything, or they're toxic positive the other way, where you can't criticize anything when there's a balance. But the one thing that always stood out to me is I remember watching the marches on AFTV and the anger when you were winning FA Cups, finishing in the top 4 but not winning leagues, when you were getting battered away from home at the top teams. You've become a team that's doing all everything in there, barring the FA Cups and maybe getting over the line, but you're not getting battered. That for me was showing that you're improving. But yet you could argue there's been more anger in the last few years, and that's why I've always felt you were going to get to this point. That's why I always thought you were going to get to this point, because as someone watching Arsenal as an outsider, I've just seen such a different club and team in the last 3 years. I'm just not surprised to see you here today. Overall, did I think you'd be this good? I didn't predict that, but am I shocked by it? No.
I'm just shocked about, like, I mean, because I'm not really used to this, the way we're playing at the moment. I'm not really used to it, because I'm used to kind of like the fast flowing, quick football that under Wenger, like we were craving as Arsenal fans. We were used to like attacking football. Like the style of change is changed completely, and I'm kind of especially this season. Like, obviously, we've been playing like this like over the last few seasons where we're hard to beat and stuff like that. Except that, but we kind of added a few essence into our game this season. Anyway, we played
at the same time, though, as good as we were, didn't you not feel an element of that we were so easy to score against? People used to break us open.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like,
Yeah, 100%. Depending because of the defense that we had.
Yeah.
With the likes of Kolasinac, Mustafi, I've seen that.
Even with Mursak and Koscielny, I mean those 5-1s happened with those two at the back. Like
it still happened, but
yeah,
we were good defensively.
Listen, I agree, and those days I got the outright. I remember the 8-2 United game.
That was the only game I ever went to in the Premier League.
I remember I had a very scary moment. I was in my garden after the game, and it was either the same day when I got home. That couldn't have been, it'd been too late, or it was the next day. But I was in my garden. I was on the phone talking to my dad about the game, and about 5 gardens down, I heard a voice, "Shut up, you fucking prick!" And I was like, "Oh, all right." I shouted back, "Just shut up, you mug!" And he was like, "I'm a gooner." He was angry, and I gave it a big one, and he was like, "Right out the front." And I thought, I can't back down now, right? Got out the front, started walking and see him come out his front gate. He starts walking towards me. Thought, right, I'll have it. Every step closer I got, about 5-6 doors down. This guy was about 6'8", huge man, right? And I remember thinking, no. The closer he got, the more I realized that he was just a big teddy bear. He got closer and closer. And he went, "Oh, mate, look, I'm not going to have a fight." He said, "Not that kind of man. Fancy a beer instead." We had a beer out the front of our asses, and we got on really well, actually. Still speak now, all these years later. And I'm still so grateful that he was a teddy bear, because if he'd have grabbed, he was like George from Of Mice and Men. If he'd have squeezed my head, it would have popped. That was after we beat you 8-1. So to see you guys go from that, right? To see you guys go from that to what you are now is actually quite crazy. It gives me a little bit of hope. I don't know if we'll do it though.
You know what's crazy, Terry? That was the only Premier League game I've actually been to. I went to Bolton against Man City once because randomly. But that was the only Arsenal I've ever been to in the Premier League. I got tickets to go Arsenal, Man United, and I sat in the Stretford end because that was the only tickets my uncle could get. And I sat there, having to sit through 8 goals. I was drenched in beer at the end of that after so many goals you guys had scored. It was so freaking bad.
Yeah, and you're not having it happen no more. And yes, this guy's right. I would have been teared in half by him, but he was actually a nice bloke, and he basically they was like, "I'm not fighting over football over that." And we had a couple of Stellas outside the front of the house, and then Terry woke up. Listen, you don't have to. One day, my best mate Phil will be on the show again. Phil was there because it was the same time I had to go and take Phil's Arsenal shirt out of the wheelie bin because he went and threw his Arsenal shirts all away. And I was like, "No, I can't let you throw your kits away of your club." So I took them out for him. Witnesses, you don't believe me, you don't believe me. I'm not going to lose any sleep. I've got some super chats to do here. This here from earlier says, "Please explain the greatest rises. Let's slow down, Terry. This team is good. They only have an FA Cup to show for it." But as I said, Trey, what you missed, I appreciate the super chat, but some cognitive dissonance kicked in. I didn't say it is one of the greatest rises. I said if they get over the line and start winning those major trophies, it will be. And the reason why I talk about it as one of the greatest is because Arsenal, whether people like it or not, are a British juggernaut and one of the biggest clubs in the world. This is just a fact. You can tell that by their revenues. As an example, you don't get that kind of revenue unless you're one of the biggest. And this is a team that hasn't won a league title in 20 years and has never won a Champions League. So if after falling off to a point where their fans were protesting and getting battered by all the clubs like we just mentioned, if they're able to turn this round, rebuild, become champions of England, becomes champions of Europe for the first time, that's one of the greatest rises we've seen from a fallen giant in this country, and it just is one of the best. Is Arsenal the best team in Europe if they win on Sunday? All the love, Terry from Saudi Arabia. Big up, bro. I think you can say on form they are. At the end of the season, you get a better idea. This time last year, nobody would have said PSG were the best team in Europe, and they went on to be. But if you talk about the season so far, if they win at the weekend, I mean, either they lose at the draw at the weekend or lose top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League group stages, you can't argue against it because aren't the league tables the ultimate barometer?
You know the thing that people isn't sinking in for people yet, by the way, for Sunday? Victor Gyökeres and Kai Havertz are going to be back.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, Arteta said that on this press conference. He said Gyökeres and Havertz barely missed out on this one, that will be available on Sunday.
It's going to be crazy. Only one. So I've got to get through these super chats. I'm running out of time. Sorry. Only one goal against Arsenal in the Champions League. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You're watching is more than an O'Hara show. Hit the like button. Yeah, we smash TalkSport, bruv. Listen, and they're owned by £1 billion corporation. And we get more. Honestly, if we were able to get that kind of money in, we can make these shows even better. It's just me and KJ. Do you know what I mean? Terry drinks apple martinis, shaken, not stirred. I love it. Respect the Liverpool lads who came out after the L. Absolutely. Big respect to those gents.
No Spurs fans here. There's no Spurs fans.
No, I know. Where are the Spurs fans?
In fairness, I can't even lie. I'm glad they didn't turn up. I don't know how to fit it all into the show. Chelsea fans online now talking about how they don't bang free hits and other nonsense. Chat was caved in after 94 minutes of football. Hey, I can't wait to hear what Don's got to say on Friday.
I was still reading Chelsea fans saying, Chelsea are better than Maresca's better than Arteta because he doesn't play in low blocks. I'm like, Arteta doesn't play in low blocks. What is this narrative? It's like ridiculous. Anyway, we'll deal with you guys on Sunday.
You know the maddest thing is, we actually went to Old Trafford and we went to Anfield. Now we've gone to Stamford Bridge, right? And the second half of the season, we're playing all these top teams at home. So
yeah, that's the big bit. Can we now concede to the narrative that it was Klopp's team that won the league last season?
If you want to do that, then Klopp has 2 league titles. Then
look, if the thing is, you can do that if you want. It's just not a narrative that I believe. It wasn't like they won the league the year before. They had a pretty bang average season where they fell off the year before and hadn't won the league in 4 or 5 years, and then Slot went in and made them win it. What they've done wrong is they've changed too much. You know, we've got it's not about Slot's team and his team. We've got to get out this notion. They went against what they'd built over the last 8 years, and they went in a new direction. They've done this season on a larger scale what Forest tried to do, going from a pragmatist to Ange. And they were going to get relegated. As soon as they've gone back to the right style of football, the right type of coach, they're winning again. Liverpool just need to go back to what works with this squad, what the squad was built for. They went away from it. It's fallen off. That's what they need to do. When the commentator said, Lima, how do you pronounce that guy's name?
Lima.
We'll be glad for the rest when Saka was taken off. I thought he's wrong to think Madueke is going to give him a rest. This is so true. Ram, what video game are you streaming next?
Lord knows.
What will Chelsea prepare for most this weekend? Set pieces, possession play, balls over the top, counter-attacking, and trying to score against the best defense in the world. Arsenal have it all. It's a great point. It's that's why I think one of the teams that wins at the weekend, and we'll do more of this later on in the week on the Terrace, people. But I think the winner will also come down to the manager that gets the tactics right, because I think getting the tactics correct, are Arsenal going to be the aggressor? Are they going to sit back like they did in the first half and just absorb and try and counter? It's going to be intriguing. Fun stat: Liverpool have conceded 7 goals in their last 2 matches. Arsenal have conceded 7 goals in 12 Premier League and 5 Champions League matches. Crazy, man. Does the panel think the loss of Jota is still having an impact? Robinson spoke about it during the international break. Jota's brother rested.
Definitely. I think that's the thing that's gone under the radar throughout the whole year, that we've been trying to come up with reasons as to why they're struggling, but they lost one of their brothers. And, for somebody I've lost members of my family before, and it doesn't take a few weeks or a few months to get over that. It takes years. Sometimes it's a loss of life. And they're only human at the end of the day. I think it's a big thing. I wouldn't call it, if anyone's calling that an excuse, I think you don't have any heart, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Ask Ram, Raya or Neuer in 2025.
In 2025, Raya. If people know me, I've criticized Neuer in 2025.
Yeah. This here says so true, Terry. Don't know how anyone lives through the late post-Fergie humiliation and bees Arteta out. Well, I think you can want to change manager, but I think it's the level of frustration. Like what's never been explained to me, other than the words, I just want to win. That's not an explanation. That's still like a what, not a why. It's how are you angrier now than when you were dropping into mediocrity, not challenging, not in the Champions League anymore? What is it that makes you angrier now when because you weren't that angry then for not winning, you were angry for not playing well enough and not being good enough. Now none of that seems to. I've never had an answer where I've gone, oh, that actually sounds really reasonable. All over, yeah, but we're not winning still, so I don't care. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's a longevity thing. There was a moment where Saka received the ball and 3 Bayern players tracked him. One of them was Harry Kane. Like it was crazy. Most fans. I know it's crazy. Most fans never want to say manager out because it is an admission that things are bad and the manager has fouled. No football fan wants to be in that situation. Some content creators do. If you revere a manager out talk, you aren't a true fan, in my opinion. Yeah, I think the conversation might listen. When it comes to, if you use Arteta as the example, I don't like the outers, as in their footballing side. I don't like their rhetoric. But I don't like the extreme inners either. That no criticism, should never lose his job. There should be no conversation about it. There should always be pressure on his job. I think both, and I'm talking about the extremes at both ends. They think they're here and here. They're not. They're right there. They're both fucking idiots, in my opinion. But that's just me. The opinions make them idiots, not personally. I don't know them. Hi, Terry. I'm a fan of the Arsenal Terrace. We spoke a lot about Liverpool tonight as well. Chelsea fan here, though. Big up yourself, bro, and for tuning in. AMT says, can we chat about oh my God, Zubamendi?
Yeah, he was great. He was absolutely magnificent as well. As I was saying, every minimum Arsenal player is 7 tonight, except for Miles Lewis-Skelly. Like
Zubamendi in Europe is a different gravy, man.
Yeah.
One thing that worried me about the game was letting all the emotions out this game and not having it this weekend. That looked to not be the case. Yeah, I mean, look, but winning breeds winning. I don't think you will lose your emotion. I think it will make you even more excited about this game. And I feel like you've relieved a bit of pressure going into it, but that's just my view. Look, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. And there's a long show tonight. It was always going to be with all these games being played. I suppose that's what happens when you end up with 6 English sides in the Champions League rather than that. But look, this is going to redirect you to Husam's stream. So please go and support them over their stream at Alawa now on that channel. Go and support him, but go and give him a bit of trolling. I'm back tomorrow. Killing the game in the morning and afternoon, 6-sided in the evening as well. So make sure you're all tuning into the Terrace tomorrow and supporting the platform. Also go check out my personal channel as well, Terry Flewers TV. Just search Terry Flewers. You'll find it. Go and get yourself subscribing. Closing in on 90,000 subs over there as well. Until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon. Peace.